right, man. So going into the DCU side of things, man, I feel like I'm talking every day about the DCU, man. I love the DCU, but this universe is truly it's just getting started. So we are getting a lot of things coming into fruition with this universe. And to be honest, I'm very excited. I'm very excited for what we've gotten so far. I enjoyed Superman. I enjoyed Creature Commandos. I enjoyed Peacemaker Season 2. I thought it was all well articulated. And really sets up for what we're going to be getting in the future from this DCU and what they call is their 10-year plan. Well, news broke last evening, and so I'm just getting a chance to really relay it to you all. It says that they're going to be adapting, HBO is, a DC crime series. And it will be led and hosted by Skylar Gisundo's Jimmy Olsen. So, Jimmy Olsen, if you don't know, appeared, of course, in Superman, one of Superman's biggest allies, I guess you could say, works with him, friends of Lois, huge part, and he actually had a really huge part in Superman, and I thought Skylar Gisondo, I thought he did a great job with the role. If anybody who doesn't know his previous work, he did Vacation, with Ed Helms, which was very funny. He was a young then, and then he just recently did The Righteous Gemstones, right? So he does a very good job of playing that quirky, smart type of character. Well, so I think this is a very, very cool what they're going to do. I don't know how they're going to do it, but so it says, yesterday evening, the rumors were finally confirmed that we learned that DC Studios is moving forward with dccrime. The series will be presented as a true crime docuseries with Skylar Gisundo's Jimmy Olsen serving as host. Very interesting. The plan is for the first season to revolve around Gorilla Grodd, who is briefly featured in Creature Commandos and is also confirmed to be one of DC Studios co-CEOs James Gunn's favorite characters. Now, Tony Yacenda and Dan Perrault, American Vandal, would serve as writers, executive producers, and showrunners of the series, which that was a docuseries on Netflix. Pretty interesting. Much could be said about DC Studios moving forward with yet another series that wasn't announced as part of the Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters slate that was started in 2023, especially with Waller, Paradise Lost, and Brave and the Bold going nowhere fast. Very, very good assessment there, but Brave and the Bold, don't throw that in there. They're trying to work that out, plus also have the Batman going, so, get off their asses about that shit. Which we all want to see Batman, trust me, man. You gotta be patient, guys. Paradise Lost, I do see that come to fruition. Waller, maybe not so much. Now, regardless, this spoof docuseries is going to tell Gorilla Grodd's story. Then it will surely need to include the villain's greatest foe, the Flash. The Scarlet Speedster was the first hero that Gorilla Grodd ever matched up with, and they've been linked ever since. Grodd is 100% a Flash villain, and revealing his former exploit without the fastest man alive coming into play is like telling Venom's story without Spider-Man. That's pretty funny. So will Gunn cast the Flash for DC Crime? At the very least, we'd expect Barry Allen to be amongst those interviewed for the show, seeing as he's a forensic scientist for the Central City Police Department. At this stage, though, nothing has been confirmed. All right, so pretty cool stuff. Is the Flash going to be joining the DCU? I think that's a really cool way to introduce the Flash, right? Would it not be? A docuseries, maybe 2-3 minutes, nothing like, a whole episode around the Flash. Nah. But having the Flash show up, especially if it's going to center around Gorilla Grodd. Gorilla Grodd is a Flash villain. They're 100% right about that. Gorilla Grodd is a Flash villain. So, now, this article does continue. It says, last December, Gunn said, we're holding a beat on development when it comes to the Flash DCU debut. In August, he was asked about Peacemaker Season 1's reference to the hero. And are they canon? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, they exist eventually. Whether they exist now, I don't know. Now, we did recently get The Flash, which starred Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller returned That's off the table. We're not, that goofball is not going to be back. And I enjoyed The Flash. I thought it was a good movie. I thought the CGI was just atrocious. But from a movie standpoint, I thought it hit some good parts. I loved Michael Keaton coming back as Batman. That was probably the best part of the whole movie, to be straight up honest with you. So I've even seen some fan casting. Everybody's like, "Oh, we'll have Grant Gustin reprise his role." Guys, this is new. This is something new, man. Why the hell do we need to bring back old actors? Which I loved Grant Gustin. I loved the Flash series until probably about season 3 or 4. Then after that, it was I can't watch that shit no more. But I've really enjoyed those first few seasons. I really did. And I thought Grant Gustin played a great Flash. He was. I mean, I think he hit the point when it comes to, being nerdy, but being smart. And I thought he did a great job as the Flash, However, I don't see that being the case. Now, in some respects, it does make sense for the DCU to move on to Wally West. That's interesting, too. Either way, not including the Flash and DC crimes would be a huge blunder on the DC's part, and something that bode well for the hero's introduction may be how much James Gunn loves the character's 2023 movie. So this is from this is what James Gunn said in regards to the Flash that was made. He said, "It's one of the best superhero movies I've ever seen. Director Andy Muschietti did an amazing job." He said at the time, "Can I say one more thing? The Flash is fucking awesome." For what it's worth, we're hearing that Clark Kent and Lois Lane will not appear in DC Crimes. As always, stay tuned for more updates. Now, that comes from Comic Book Movie News, but what a cool concept, I think. I like the idea of the Jimmy Olsen TV series. Especially we already introduced to the characters. I think it'll be fun, probably 30-minute episodes, something along that line. Nothing too crazy, right? Just kind of him going in behind the scenes and his journalistic prowess and going to this villain, to that villain. I thought that'd be really cool, but to introduce Gorilla Grodd, I think is an interesting concept. I know we got something similar to Gorilla Grodd from Peacemaker season 1. I don't know if you guys remember that part, but they had that real smart gorilla that they were fighting, and Economos cuts him up with the chainsaw. Pretty badass stuff, right? and that was one of the moments in Peacemaker season 1 where they were their first just accomplishment as a team and really bonding together. I thought that was really cool. But that wasn't Gorilla Grodd. I think it hinted at something that Gorilla Grodd could play a part, right? But Gorilla Grodd is a Flash villain, man. Gorilla Grodd is a Flash villain. So I think it's only fitting that you have the Flash show up just briefly. Maybe as Barry Allen, maybe as Wally West, or maybe just as the Flash. Interesting. But guys, I want to hear your comments about this down below. Are you excited for a DC crime series with Jimmy Olsen kind of running point there? Do you like the concept? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it would be a great idea for the Flash show up? And if the Flash does show up, who do you want playing the Flash? I'll do a video later on about, especially as this comes along, we'll go ahead and do our top 5 Flash casting. But guys, that is it for on this topic here, man. If you haven't got a chance to subscribe to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate all the love. But until next time, I'm out.